Hello gorgeous Virgos, how are you? I hope you had a really nice Christmas or whatever holiday you were celebrating. Quite honestly, there's been quite a few, hasn't there? Or you just enjoyed some time off, or maybe you were working. If you were, thank you. So this is your reading for January 2018. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do your weekly, your first weekly, January 2018 too. So I've got new cards. If you've watched before, you know I usually use Wisdom of the Oracle. I'm still going to use Wisdom of the Oracle, but I'm also going to use the Fairy Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and oh my goodness, Radley Valentine. I am so sorry. I've been doing readings for like the last 4 hours and my voice is going bleh. Okay, so this is your reading. Before I start, actually, can I say something to you? You guys are awesome. I can't thank you enough for everything that you do, for your likes and your subscribes and your shares and stuff like that. But there is something that I kind of want to bring up, and I hope you guys will be on board with this. I watch a lot of YouTube readings, okay? I watch a lot, and there are some amazing readers out there. And some of them are getting really upset because they're being left really negative messages, okay? Now, I haven't had this. I haven't been on YouTube long enough. And not enough people view. In some ways, thank God that I don't get the people who leave negative comments. You guys have always been amazing. But I speak to some of these readers. I mean, we do kind of communicate, some of us, and it's like I speak to some of these readers and it really, really gets to them, okay? I know some amazing readers who have said to me that because of the feedback that they've had, they are thinking about giving it up and things like that. And you see when they're posting that some of them get really upset. As I say, you guys don't do this. But I would ask you to kind of like, when you see people doing it, maybe kind of call them out on it. I'm going to start doing that, because it's like you see people who give like thumbs down to a reading in November for January and things like that, and it's like, how the heck do they know it's a bad reading? You know, how do they know that it's a bad reading? Because they're not in that time space yet. They don't know what's going to happen, and if they don't like the reader, they just don't have to watch. They don't have to watch. They don't have to give a negative. You know, it's really not nice for the person on the other end of it when they've put all the time and effort and everything into it, and they've done it for free, and some of them do it because it's professional, and some of them do it just because they're providing a service. But either way, they're giving up a lot of time to actually do these readings. Like negative comments and stuff like that, if it doesn't resonate with people, it doesn't resonate with them, and that's just the end of it. There's kind of no need to put a negative comment on there. So it would be really good, actually, if we can kind of like go into 2018 with a more kind of positive attitude generally for everybody. Just be nice to one another, you know. It just makes me sad. It makes me sad. I do watch a lot, and I see some of the readers getting really upset about it, and I just think it's kind of a little bit unfair when they're putting in time and effort. You know, they're not getting paid for doing it. They're providing a service, and everyone says, you know, these are general readings. If people want a specific reading, they can, you know, with most readers, they can kind of phone up and book a reading, so or email and book a reading or whatever. So if you see someone doing it, I know you guys don't do it because, you know, I've never had it, but if you see someone doing it, it might be worth kind of, if you wouldn't mind, just kind of like calling them on it, because I would hate to see some really good readers give up just because of other people's negative comments. I know there are trolls on YouTube. I know there are. You see some people who comment negatively on every single reading that they've watched, and it's just like, seriously, you've got nothing better to do with your time. So this is my mission for 2018, is to get people to call people out on stuff. Okay, this is my mission, and that's what I'm planning on doing this year. Not being horrible, you know, there's no need to be horrible about it or anything else, but I'm a Libra moon, and my thing this year that seems to have come up is actually, you know, calling people out on stuff. So, and you know, you Virgos are analytical, you can use your words. So I'm just kind of putting it out there. Obviously, if you don't want to, that's one thing. I'm not asking you to particularly do it on my channel, but if you watch other readers and you see negative comments on there, then, you know, it might be something that's kind of worth thinking about, because we could lose some really good readers because of it, and that would be such a shame. Anyway, right, that's my little rant over. So this is your reading for January 2018. Queen of Autumn. Generous, stylish, gracious and practical. That's a lot of you, actually, isn't it? Let's face it. Nine of Spring. These cards are a bit weird, okay? If I get this wrong, because I know sometimes it's like I'll say, yeah, this is Earth sign, and then I go, you know, and then I start talking about fire signs, and it's just like, okay, what the heck's going on there? And a lot of the time it's because, you know, it's come out as an Earth sign, but actually it could just as easily be a fire sign, and that's the intuitive part of it. So if slips like that happen, then sometimes it's actually because Spirit is saying that slips like that need to happen, because that's part of the message. I don't actually remember what I'm saying when I do the readings. I have to watch them back and go, oh, that's interesting. So there we go. Right, so this is Virgo for January 2018. I really hope you've had a lovely new year. You had some really amazing readings towards the end of last year. That one that had the four aces. I'd be really interested to know if that panned out for any of you, and if anything came from that, because that was a really exciting reading. If you've got Pisces in your chart as well, if you've got Pisces in your chart, or you're dealing with a Pisces, it's worth looking at their readings for the first week of January, and also for January in general, because there's some really interesting stuff in there as well. It's going to be a real keynote year for them, or real keynote month anyway. I don't know about the year, because I haven't done the yearlies yet. You will have to excuse my voice if it starts to go, because I am getting really quite tired now. It's currently 10 to 2 in the morning, and I've been reading since I think 5 o'clock this afternoon. And I'm sorry I didn't get any readings out in December. If you've been following, you'll know. If you've been following, you'll know that I've had building work going on, and I had the girls' birthdays and then Christmas and stuff. So it's been a bit manic. Right, and here's the big boys. Oh, you're getting lots of twos. What's going on there? Lots and lots of twos in that first bit. Oh, I hate it when you guys get the orphaned card. You're still between worlds. Oh my god, Virgos. Okay, co-create. You got your card in there though. Okay. Right. So, these are your cards. So the first one that we have for you is we have the 8 of Spring, which is the 8 of Wands. Okay, and the meanings are slightly different in here. It says stress that comes from having many things happening at once, successful multitasking, sudden events or changes. That's you guys. Yeah, stress that comes having many things at once. You guys work so hard. I know you do. I know Virgos, and you do work very, very hard. Just be careful. All right, just look after yourselves. That's all I'm saying to you. I'm not going to nag you, but there's no point in nagging a Virgo, in fairness, because you're going to do your own thing. Then at the bottom of this deck you have the Chariot, so it's movement forward, and then you have your card and it's co-create. So you're moving forward. You're moving forward. You've got a lot going on. Okay, you've always got a lot going on. What have we got? We've got an 8, we've got a 7, and we've got a 4. Nothing particularly striking me about the numbers right now, apart from the fact that you've got a lot of 2s. You've got a lot of 2s in your reading. Okay, so let's get going. Oh, where am I going? Right, so the first card that we have is the Queen of Autumn. Okay, this is the Queen of Pentacles, and it says generous, stylish, gracious and practical. Be practical with respect to how you proceed. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Meeting someone who makes your dreams come true. Virgo, I don't need to tell you that's you, do I? I mean, the ability to make things beautiful and being practical into how you proceed. I mean, that's just going to be you. That's your beautiful, nurturing side. And this is a very kind of receptive energy, this 2 card. It's really interesting though, because then you've got the Emperor as well. So you've got the Emperor and you've got the Emperor and you've got the Queen of Pentacles. So this could be 2 people, all right? Or this could be that you have these in your chart. You may have this nurturing, beautifying energy, and you may also have this kind of Emperor energy, which is it's the Aries card. It could be 2 people. It could be one person who is that nurturing kind of Virgo energy, and then you could have the Aries male as well. So, you know, the Emperor tends to be a little bit colder. So I think there's the balance between the 2. For some of you, it's the co-creation. Okay, for some of you, it's co-creation. Maybe it's working with somebody else. But also, it's saying the multitasking. So possibly you're juggling kind of like the work environment and your empire, as it were, and the kind of nurturing side of it, and maybe your family and your home and that kind of thing. And for some of you, it's juggling work and home and love. Okay, for some of you, it's that. For some of you, it's that, I guess. But you're moving forward, whatever it is, and you're creating and things. But it's just, and some of it might be quite sudden, but it's just be aware that you don't burn out, you know. Just make sure that you're kind of like receptive as well. Make sure that you're not giving all the time and you're actually receiving too, you know. It could be that you are this Emperor. Yeah, because it's like, this is the Aries card, but it very much reminds me of the King of Pentacles, because it's that successful businessman type of energy. You know, he has his empire. And the King of Pentacles, that earth sign king, also has that those kind of elements to them as well. So possibly that is you. Oh, well, my camera's gone all funny. Possibly that is you, and possibly you are dealing with an air sign, earth sign female. Or it could just be the 2 parts of you, you know. It could just be, yeah, but again, this is looking like you could be dealing with a Pisces, because to me this is a Pisces card as well. So that's your kind of energy. That's the way we're kind of working with this. Right. So then you have another 2. You have another 2. And this is the Imagine card. I'm going to come back to this, because the Imagine card is basically, it's what it says. It's the Imagine card. It's imagining a dream. It's imagining how things could be. For some people, it's secrets too. So we need to be a little bit careful with that. Could also be dealing with that air sign, with an air sign. So some of you, secrets are being uncovered. For some of you, they're not. The light is shining. You're trying to uncover secrets for some of you. The moon is kind of illuminating part of it, but it's not illuminating a lot. And some of you are actually, if you look really carefully, I haven't got my glasses on and the light's not very good, but if you look really carefully, there's a little face inside of here. So maybe you're kind of like trying to uncover secrets within yourself. Maybe you're... Virgos aren't the type that are particular, unless you've got something in your chart that is more kind of like Pisces or anything like that, you know. You're not the kind of type that will rely on their intuition as such. That's not a sweeping generalization. It's just the earth signs are very practical. and very kind of grounded. But you're a Virgo, so you're very much into, oh my God, you guys are so self-critical and things like that. You know, you judge yourselves so incredibly. And you're really hard on yourselves a lot of the time. You're your own worst critics, and you kind of nag. You need to step back from that, okay? Because you're amazing people, and you need to step back from being so critical of yourselves, all right? You have got so many fantastic things around you that that you bring to the world. I mean, you create so much, and I think a lot of that may come from the fact that you're so self-critical, because you push yourself so hard. But what concerns me is the stress element of it in this card. It's like, are you stressing yourself out too much? Are you kind of going inside and beating yourself up because you're trying to achieve everything and you're not actually getting around to achieving as much as you want to? And it says, protect the fruits of your labour, prepare for possible challenges that lie ahead, and environmental conservation. That's your card there. That's the 9 of Spring, which is the 9 of Wands. So you're protecting yourself. You're feeling quite defensive for some of you. And she's kind of looking to me like she's looking to the future, okay, and she's kind of on the lookout for, not danger as such, but she's kind of on the lookout for these challenges that are coming in. And you're trying to stay balanced. You're trying to stay balanced here with this card. You're trying to stay balanced. And for some of you, it may be a financial thing. You know, for some of you, it may be a financial thing. A lot of you guys are into the kind of financial aspect of things. And maybe more's gone out or is going out than is coming in. That's not very Virgo on the whole, but maybe you've got a lot going out. Maybe you've had a lot of outgoings and you're trying to like get rebalanced financially again. Makes sense with Christmas. So then we have the Prince of Autumn, okay, which again is the Prince of Pentacles. And we have here dependable, protective, chivalrous and humorous, cautious but wise action, meticulous attention to detail and kindness to others. Again, that's just you, Virgo, okay? That's you, because we have this, we have these two things. The Prince of Autumn is actually kind of summing up these two cards together, because you have that Emperor, yeah, who is cautious but wise action and meticulous attention to detail, and then you have this more kind of feminine, beautiful, nurturing energy. The Queen of Pentacles is so grounded. She's hardworking. She's all of those things, but she's incredibly nurturing too. And she multitasks like a pro. And this card is kind of the combination of the two. So maybe at the beginning of the month, you're kind of, those two energies are kind of quite separate. You know, those two energies are kind of quite separate, and then you kind of go inside and I don't know, maybe you're working on yourself. Maybe you are working on yourself and you're trying to get the balance within yourself. And maybe it's not all so much about the money anymore. Maybe that's why you're kind of only focusing on 2 pentacles and these other 4 have fallen away, because you're a little bit more kind of, you're not in that kind of Virgo state. sorry guys, you know I love you. You're not in that Virgo state of being so focused on kind of the financial aspects of it, and you're kind of getting the nurturing kind of side back into it. So maybe that's what it is. You're still kind of moving forward, but you're balancing the kind of nurturing side of it alongside it a little bit better perhaps. And then you have the Empress. Okay, so again you've gone from the Emperor to the Empress, and again that's just a reiteration of the fact that you've managed to kind of integrate this masculine and feminine aspects of yourself. And you are now the Emperor, but you are the more nurturing kind of energy of the Emperor. You are now the Empress. For some of you, we have the Queen of Autumn and we have the Prince of Autumn. So perhaps it's a relationship where you're dealing with 2 earth signs, or you're dealing with, you know, the Emperor and the Empress, so maybe it's 2 fire signs. You know, she doesn't tend to be a fire sign, but the Emperor and the Empress. Either way, it looks like it's a couple. Either way, it looks like it's a couple. And the Emperor and the Empress, to me, could quite easily be soulmate couple. Okay, so maybe you are the king and the queen of the world. Do you know what I mean? It's like you are the king and queen of your little empire, as it were. For some of you, you may be feeling left out in the cold. For some of you, the door to an opportunity has closed, and you're kind of not particularly grounded, and you're not, and you're feeling a little bit left out in the cold, or someone else is. The rest of the reading wouldn't kind of seem to me that would be you. Maybe that's somebody else. Okay, maybe somebody else is feeling like that. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that in the rest of your reading. Though it's possible, because then you have the Strength card. The Strength card is Leo, and Leo is a fire sign. Okay, so maybe you have Leo in your chart, or you're dealing with the Leo. Maybe if you're female, you're dealing with the Leo. Okay, and maybe that's you being the Empress as well. You've got 2 3s though. So maybe this situation here that has closed its doors was a third-party situation, quite possibly. I think it was an early one. I don't think it had gone very far. For some of you as well, it could be a pregnancy that hasn't happened yet. It could be a pregnancy that hasn't happened yet, and maybe you're feeling quite sad about it. Maybe some of you were. Maybe you got into that kind of nurturing state because you thought perhaps there was a pregnancy and it hasn't happened. And it wasn't. So you've gone back to the idea from being with 3 to a 2. The other thing that I'm getting is perhaps maybe you've had a child staying with you over the Christmas period, and then they go home. So maybe if you've got children at boarding school, maybe your child's been home, and then you've had that opportunity to kind of, like, from your career aspect of it, you've had the opportunity to be with your child and being in that nurturing parenting kind of thing, and then the child's gone back to boarding school or whatever, gone back to their other parent. If you're separate, if you are separated or divorced, maybe they've gone back to their other parent, and maybe you're feeling quite sad about that, because then we have this orphaned card. We've got the Strength card again. We have the Strength card twice. And in this case, it says, the grace and inner strength needed to overcome challenges, the power of kindness and forgiveness, time to embrace how wonderful you are. This is what I was saying to you. Stop beating yourself up, Virgos, because you are beautiful. Okay, you are wonderful, beautiful people. I think for some of you, perhaps, if you have got children at boarding school, maybe the child was quite sad about going back. And this is why you have this orphan card. And maybe they were quite sad about going back. And we have the Eight of Cups. Okay, which is them kind of going away and all that kind of stuff. But they're going to be okay. They're telling me that they're going to be okay. All right, they're going to be fine. But there is just that element of sadness. And maybe this is why you're beating yourself up. Maybe this is why you're beating yourself up a bit. Maybe if you've got older kids and they've gone off to uni again or whatever, maybe that's why you're feeling sad. It's because you enjoyed having them home. You enjoyed having that nurturing, loving relationship with them again, and now they've gone back off again. So maybe that's what it is. You have another 3. Okay, so, you know, there are days when you're up, there are days when you're down for some of you. And then you have the 2 of Spring, a bright future manifested through hard work and creativity, partnering with others who share your dreams, great progress being made. What else did we have that was similar to that working with other people thing? Oh yes, co-create card. Okay, co-create card. Working with other people. So again, we have that, and the potential. We have the potential here. These eggs to me are always potential. All right. Maybe you are the person who is a financial person. Maybe this person is the brains of the operation, and you have this new potential idea, and this is what you're working on. And that would be followed up by the Ace of Swords, because that is opportunity for a new idea, a new way of thinking, that kind of thing. So, and again, this just follows on. So we have the mending card, we have communication and things like that. There is this thing about forgiveness, okay? Where did we have the forgiveness card? It was there somewhere. The power of kindness and forgiveness, time to embrace how wonderful you are. And then you have mending, all right? So for some of you, this, well, we'll have another look. We'll go on to kind of relationship stuff. Perhaps some of you had been having issues with your children, and over Christmas you've managed to sort them out as well. Or maybe you have to have a bit of a frank discussion with them, because there is the Five of Wands. Okay, so maybe there is an argument there, but there is mending, all right? And you can manifest this. You can manifest this in your life. You can kind of deal with this, and that you are manifesting something, and you're manifesting this new idea as well, this new way of thinking, and this new project that you've been working and co-creating on. Okay, and you are the Emperor and the Empress, and it is this nurturing kind of thing. We had for one of the other signs, I can't remember who it was now, Pisces, I think, had the yin and the yang coming out together, and that seems quite pertinent to me. I'm not quite sure why, but it did. But this may be, so it may be that somebody has water in, because that to me is earth, that bottom bit, and then so maybe you have an earth sign and a water sign in the chart, and then you have the Queen of Autumn, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Emperor. So maybe one of you has water in your chart as well, or maybe it's a third party and it's water, water, air, and earth, or water, fire, and earth. Water, Aries, and earth. Sorry, I'm getting really, really tired now. So yeah, so there's a lot going on. You have, and this is why the multitasking comes in, is because we may have this issue with children, we may have this kind of nurturing thing going on as well, we may have new ideas coming up. There's you in your head beating yourself up about the whole thing. You're trying to resolve the situation. You are the magician. You are the one who can do this. You are the one who can pull all this stuff together and multitask. And this is what it's saying. It's saying you've got successful multitasking. So you will be okay, all right? You will be okay. But it's saying also work with others as well. All right, work with others as well. You don't always need to do everything by yourself, Virgo. Right, you have the Emperor, you have the Empress. You know, it's the male and female energy. You have the Queen of Autumn, you have the Prince of Autumn. It's the working together of different people. You know, you have co-create. You need to be working with other people. Yes, you are the magician. You are the magician. And you can create things by yourself. You're amazing and awesome, but there is that element that it's, you know, it's reaching out to others. You've got here the Three of Winter, yeah, which is the Three of Swords. Again, third party situation though, which worries me because that's coming up a lot for you right now. But the third party situation, reach out to others for comfort and love. You will grow stronger from this situation. Sadness that will heal with time. Third party situation doesn't have to be a love situation. It can be two parents and a child. It could be anything like that, you know. But it is that thing of working together. It is the thing of working together with other people in whatever aspect that needs to be done in. So let's leave that one there. I'm going to put these cards away and I'm going to pull you another reading. So that'll be for some people. And my voice is really, really going now, guys. This is the problem with using lots of decks, okay, is just having to put all the cards away and then we have to reshuffle again, which is really annoying. But it's quite useful. So let's do this the other way around now. So we'll do it so that we are doing the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. So let's do a love reading for Virgo for January 2018. So it's a love reading for Virgo for January 2018. Perhaps I should separate these into two different things. I got these cards. If you've seen these cards on other readers, oh my goodness. I opened them and went, ooh, okay. I'd seen some of them, but some of them don't seem to come up in readings very much, and it's probably just as well. Okay, or maybe the readers don't show them. All right, so this is a love reading for Virgo for 2018. I'm not going to use those cards in this reading, okay? I will do a separate reading with a warning on to make sure that there's nobody watching who will be offended by them. So, love reading for Virgo for January 2018. Fork in the road. There's a decision to be made, Virgo. Love reading. You guys seem to be making decisions on love for ages and ages and ages. Got those two together. Oh, goodness me, what was that? Right, there's something about the tribes just flown out, but it's landed on the other deck. So I'm going to wait till I pull. I'm going to take that, I'm going to keep it over here, and then when I pull the cards from the other deck, it will be relevant to one of them. I'm not sure which one yet. It's really funny though, because it's the 8 card and it landed on the 8 of Spring, and the 8 of Spring is the 8 of Cups. So it's about family and love. Okay, stress that comes from having many things happening, successful multitasking, sudden changes and events, and it's to do with your tribe. It's to do with your tribe, quite possibly to do with your family, but it could also be to do with work. Right, you've got the Libra card, or the card that is Libra for me in this deck. And you have Orphaned. Right, you've got Truth Be Told, bottom of your deck this time. Yeah. We'll come back to that. I think you're coming out of conflict with somebody, because you've got Truth Be Told, which is a 1 and a 4, which is a 5, but it's not a 5 in that sense in my head. It's like you're not getting... It's really sad, because I look at that card and what I'm getting is that you're basically telling someone that you don't love them. And that's really sad. But maybe they need to hear it. I don't know. Maybe they need to hear it. There's no love there anymore, you know. Oh my goodness. It's 2:15 in the morning, and just in the corner of the screen is just a little, you know, those little things that come up, those little pop bars that come up. It's 2:45 in the morning, and my daughter is playing a game online. I will be having words. She's at her dad's. I will be having words. 2:15. No, it's not 2:45. It's it's 2:15 in the morning. Yeah, I will be having words about that one. All right. Okay, 2 of Autumn. So it's Virgo, love for January 2018. Awakening. So we've got 2 of Autumn, which is the 2 of Pentacles again, which again is juggling. So it's like, are you trying to juggle things, Virgo, in terms of you've got your multitasking, or are you juggling people? Are you juggling people? I will show you the card again in a second for Truth Be Told, but it's like there's a mask there and there's an owl. So you're basically, it's like you're wearing a mask. This owl's got this steely look in his eyes. And there's an open window basically where his chest would be, and there's like petals flying out, but there's no heart in the middle of it. So Virgo, Are you being told that someone doesn't love you, or are you saying that you don't love someone else? I've got a horrible feeling it's you doing it to someone else, Virgo. And if you don't love someone, you don't love them, but you have got to be honest with it. I just hope you're going to be gentle, because it's like the owl's face does not look gentle. And I would ask you that if basically you've got to do that to someone, then please do it gently, okay? Don't do your cold Virgo analytical thing, because it, you know, it can be hard. You've got the Ten of Summer on the bottom of this. Okay, if it's a third party situation, then the card is basically the Ten of Summer is the Ten of Cups. An emotionally fulfilling life with family or friends, raising children wisely, people you can trust. You know, it's like, it's fine if you need to stay with your family if you're in a third party, but really, first of all, you shouldn't have been bleeding doing it in the first place, and you know that because you're not silly. And just be gentle. Okay, because you guys can be cutting as when you go cold. I'm not telling you off, you know I love you. I'm just saying to you. Third party situation card. And a broken heart. Please be gentle, okay? Or if someone's doing it to you, I hope that they're gentle too. I hope it's not you with a broken heart. Lots of pentacles again. So I know it takes ages to shuffle. It does. Oh my goodness me, what's going on there? Right, you've got Ten of Pentacles. Right, okay. All right, let's leave that like that. And then we've got two more, and then we're done, and then we can talk about it. It does mean I don't have to clarify, that means all the cards are there, so it's not like I'm having to clarify like I would normally do. So I kind of like doing it this way. Oh! Tower card. Right, my loves, let's see what we've got. Bottom of here, we have the Knight of Wands. Okay. Air sign. The Knight of Wands can be very cutting. So, we have truth be told. See what I mean? See what I mean? You've got the mask, you've got the owl. Look at his eyes. There is no emotion in those eyes whatsoever. All that love has gone. There is nothing inside there at all. It's empty. And you've got not for you underneath that. Maybe this relationship was not for you. Maybe you're stuck in the middle of something. And again, maybe it's third party, because you have two opposing sides and then you have you in the middle. And again, there we go. Between worlds, threes again. And somebody being left out in the cold. Threes. Okay. And you have the Ten of Summer. An emotionally fulfilling life with family or friends, raising children wisely, people you can trust. Okay. And then you have the Knight of Swords. So just be careful. Okay, just be careful with words, please. Just be careful with words. There's a lot here about family. There is a lot here about, well, let's just see how the reading plays out. So basically you have a fork in the road. Maybe this is your past energy. We'll see as we go through. Maybe you had a decision to make, or you have a decision to make. You have a 1 and a 3. So perhaps this is about going from being single into a third party. Maybe you're getting involved with someone who's already involved with someone else. Okay, maybe that's what's happening for you. And then we have the Two of Autumn, yeah, which is the Two of Pentacles. So it's juggling. It's juggling. Bringing fun into everything you do. Juggling multiple priorities or jobs, and exceptional talent for multitasking. Maybe you were juggling. Okay, maybe it was fun. Maybe you were having a really, really good time. And then you have the Three of Swords. So then you have that heartbreak. And then you have the Four of Swords. So you're taking time out to recuperate. So you're taking a time to rest. You're taking a time to recover. You're taking a time to recuperate. Okay. You have milk and honey. Now this one's a bit of a funny one for me because it can mean a number of things. It can mean basically this was very unusual for you because you have an elephant taking a bath in milk and honey. Okay, that's really unusual. And maybe it was because it made you happy. All right, maybe whatever the situation was, it was unusual for you. It was unusual behavior for you because you're normally a really nurturing, kind person or whatever. Or maybe that's what you needed. Maybe it made you happy and it was very nurturing for you and it made you behave in a way that was unusual for you. Maybe it was unusual for you and maybe you've been looking back at this and thinking, wow, you know, and you're seeing things with a different perspective. Okay, but again we've got 3 there. This is the Hangman. It says change the way you're looking at the situation, embrace your uniqueness, a temporary pause in action. Okay, this is what we were saying. This is quite unique. This is outside the box. This is quirky. Okay, and then you have a temporary pause in action. There we go. Again, you're taking that break and you're sorry, my throat is really going. You're taking that break to recuperate. Okay, after this heartbreak, this third party, whatever it is. Okay, so you're taking that break to recover. And this comes back to again, and then you have the Four of Pentacles as well, so you're hanging on to something. You're hanging on to something in the real world. It could be your money, it could be, I don't think it's a way of thinking. I don't think it's a way of thinking because we have this looking at things from a new perspective. Maybe you need to look at things from a new perspective, but currently you're hanging on to these old ideas. But I don't think you are. I think this is hanging on to material stuff. I think this is hanging on to things in the real world. Pentacles are things in the real world, so it's like structure, security, stability, money, all those kind of things. Okay, and that's what you're hanging on to, and that's the kind of miserly side of it. So maybe you were having an awful lot of fun and the fun ended because basically it was unusual behavior for you, and then you kind of like looked at yourself with this new perspective and went, whoa, okay, hang on, what about my money? Okay, what about my stability? What about my security? You've got no massive change cards though. You've got this, you've got chop wood, which is a Virgo card to me, always. It's a 6, yeah. 6s are funny ones as well. You're past the point of conflict on this. And either that's in your own head, you're past the point of conflict on it, or you're past the point of conflict with this person. Okay. It's like there are opportunities there. There are 2 opportunities there. The stars are opportunities to me. There's one at the bottom, one at the top. But you're nowhere near them. You're that little broom there, because there's the face. Okay, you're nowhere near them, and actually the feeling that I'm getting is that it's like it's time to sweep them away. Okay, if that one falls down, you're sweeping it away. The other one's on the floor, you're sweeping it away. You're kind of staying back, but if they come near you, you'll sweep them away. Okay, but you're heading into this new life. You're heading into this new life, possibly with this new perspective after the Hanging Man. Okay, maybe you can become very aware of how important your stability and your security are to you, and this is kind of it. And you're kind of slowing down. I don't know why I'm getting that you're slowing down. It's something to do with the fact that she's just waking up, I think. But this new life, I mean, basically it's like, yes, this is a very ornate, beautiful column that she's on, and it's made of marble, so that's incredibly... But it's quite small, you know. She could have kind of rolled out of bed and just fallen. And yeah, she's got fairy wings, but she's very sleepy. It would have taken her a while to kind of like catch her grip. And here we go, look, this is it, this is your thing. It's like, this is the ego card, okay, in this deck. And the reading, I mean, it just follows on completely. You're holding on to this money and things like that. You have the illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items, getting caught up in fear and worry. You know, it's like you're worried that your stability is not as, you know, not as wide as perhaps as you would want it to be. And you're clinging to your financial aspect. Whereas actually it's quite, for some of you, you're kind of balancing your finances. For others of you, you're kind of drowning in money. You know, it's like the money's going out quicker than it's, you know, you're trying to balance it, but actually it's all kind of falling away. So for some of you it's that, but for some of you, you're placing far too much emphasis on the material side of things, and you're doing this and you're being really kind of holding on to your money for dear life. I'm actually going to clarify that new life card because I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. So I'm going to use the Angel Tarot cards, which is Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine again. But I'm going to clarify that new life card. And I wonder if it's to do with your tribe. Clarify the new life card for Virgo, please. Clarify that. Why is the new life card there for Virgo? These are new cards, so they take a minute. Oh, there we go. Queen of Air. Queen of Air. Independent, experienced, realistic and witty. Beautiful card. Look, absolutely gorgeous. Objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you and seeing humour in the situation. Yeah, I think basically, what's happening is that you're getting rid of anything that no longer serves you. Yes, you feel trapped and you're putting too much importance on material items and you're getting caught up in fear and worry and all that kind of stuff. But actually, that's your decision to make. And it's very Virgo. It's very Virgo. The stability, the security, the money, it's very kind of earth sign energy. And anything that doesn't buy into that is basically just not for you. And you had the not for you card. Okay, so maybe that's what it is. And we have a leg up, and this is where the tribe comes in. Okay, you have the leg up, so it's about your children, it's about your family, it's about your children as well. You know, it's about family security and stability as well. Positive changes on the way. Welcome relief from troubled times. Traveling or relocating. It's the Six of Winter. It's the Six of Swords. Okay, so positive changes are on the way. So maybe now that you start coming out of this, and maybe now you've dropped all the stuff that you didn't need, maybe you're going to stop worrying so much. You know, you're caught up in fear and worry because you may be about to lose your stability and security. And actually things are changing. You're coming out of this feeling of being overburdened, and you're actually moving into this Ten of Pentacles energy, where if you were worried about money before, because we have the Six of Pentacles, yeah, where we have 2 pentacles, which he has, and 4 pentacles that are falling away. You now have, I think it's 8 pentacles. Where are we? Yeah, you have 6 pentacles there in the chest, and only 4 falling away. So maybe the kind of financial side of it is a little bit more balanced as well. But this is meant to be a love reading, but it's not just about money pentacles, okay? It's about things in the material world. So actually, maybe what you did was the right thing because you held on to this stability and security and all that kind of stuff. And if you see here, the other option was it was all going to fall away here, okay? And what you've managed to do is you've now managed to hold on to it. So you've still got 4 falling away, but you've got the rest, okay? And maybe it's just because you didn't feel financially secure enough to take this step forward, this leap of faith forward. And you have the Libra card here, okay? You're trying to be fair to everybody, yeah? You may be communicating with the Libra. The Libra, maybe you're marriage partner because you have this stress, but you're trying to be fair. You have scales here, okay? You have scales here and you have scales here, all right? But maybe actually you're communicating with this Libra and you're saying, look, there is no stability and security in your scales. You have an egg and actually you have an egg and you have a fortune cookie. Maybe you have got the stability and security, and maybe this Libra person has got potential. You know, they've got an egg and they've got a fortune cookie. Maybe they've got potential, you've got money. Could be a business thing, possibly, maybe. I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one. But then you've got renewal as well. Review the past and the present so you can plan a brighter future. Understanding your life purpose. Releasing judgments of yourself and others. Okay, so this isn't a reconciliation card. This isn't a reconciliation card. This is an understanding card. And what you've got, if you were dealing with a Libra, if you were in a third-party situation, what you've got is you're hanging on to your pentacles and this person isn't financially secure. It's the same thing. It's just like those scales are essentially empty. There is nothing in them, and you have stability and security and money in yours. Okay, maybe that's where it's all gone wrong, and you're holding on to it. Now maybe you're really sad about this. Maybe if it's a third-party situation, maybe your wife is really sad about this. Maybe this Libra person in the wedding dress is really sad about this. Maybe this is the same person. Okay, maybe they're really sad about it. It's time to take action. Be fearless and happy and pursue your most treasured dreams, amazing career opportunities. This is the Ace of Wands. Okay, something is happening and it is going to cause for you a major change. One way or the other, that's going to cause for you a major change. Now, I don't know what that thing is at this point. So we're going to do one more clarification. We are going to clarify the Tower for you and see if we can get any sense out of it. I don't know whether this is resonating with you. It's not going to resonate with everyone. Events moving at a fast pace, delays are over, many things happening at once. We've already had that, haven't we? What's happening there? What is happening? Why? Can you please clarify further? The Eight of Fire. Events moving at a fast pace, delays are over, many things happening at once. You were already multitasking, okay? You were already doing that. Ten of Air, end of a difficult situation, embrace the change and expect things to get better now, recovering from an addiction. You have the Tower and it's saying embrace the change and expect things to get better now, recovering from an addiction. You have the King of Air. Speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice. Now it says recovering from addiction, seek out professional advice. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, and it says balance mental and emotional considerations. We had that right at the beginning, didn't we, where it was basically saying stress-related things because of overwork. Virgo, that's what I have for you. I'm afraid I can't clarify the Tower anymore because it's kind of not happening. Please just be very, just take care of yourself, okay? Just take care of yourself. Try not to overwork too much. There is a lot going on. I'm very aware that there's a lot going on for you. There's always a lot going on for you guys. Don't beat yourself up too much, okay? That's all I'm saying, because you do that, and you don't deserve to do that to yourself because you are lovely. And just try and breathe. Why am I getting breathe? I don't know. Ask for support, okay? Ask for emotional support. Ask for support from people. You had that in one of your other cards, didn't you? Something about asking for support from other people. There are other people who can help you as well. And if that means getting professional help, then get professional help. If it means having your family around you, then have your family around you. If it means having friends around you, have friends around you. Just have some support. You don't always have to do everything by yourself, okay? Right, I'm going to go and I'm going to do your first week in first week in January and see if we can get any clarification on it. All right then, darlings, I will speak to you in about 5 minutes when I do your next reading. Okay then, bye.